I flipped $100 to $1,000 in 1 week. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it. And this video is unedited, it's raw. And so if I'm gonna stutter, excuse me, give me some thought to process. So this is my screen, this is my FX books. And you can see $100 to $20,000. That's the goal, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we're going to get there, okay? I tried it previously. It didn't really work out. The most amount I flipped was $100 to $1,000 or $1,500, and I withdraw always like $500 back to my account. So this time I'm gonna try. So you can see the stats here. You can see, first of all, you can see that this is a real account. I would like to show you my MT5, but I'm recording from this from my video from my phone, so I can't really show you that. But if you look at this, I think I deposited, I don't even know, honestly I don't know the dates, but I know that last week, which was end of July or beginning of August, end of July actually, beginning of August, end of July, anyway, I flipped it. So first I go slow, and you can see there was not very big trades, and there was one big trade which happened, I think it was this one, I'm not sure which one was it. I'm gonna show in my Discord which trade got me. First I flipped $100 to $300, and then I entered Euro JPY, which was this one. You can see a massive, huge trade. I always set my TP to 1-to-1 first, but I only set the alarm. I don't set my TP, my MT5 for the cases exactly like this. There was a news, and look what it did. It went to like 1-to-5. I was supposed to make like $100, and I made $500. So I went from $300 to $900 literally in span of 1 hour or something like that, or 30 minutes, something like that. When I saw it, I closed the trade, I call it a day. But this is the reason I don't set my TPs in my MT5, because for the instances like this. So this account is currently sitting nicely. It's $900. I went into the drawdown this week. I went all the way down to, I don't know if you can see this somewhere here. I don't know where is the, I don't really understand it. This is in my FX books, to be honest. Profit drawdown, drawdown, here. Okay, so you can see 43%. Can I send this, not percentage, but like profits? Yeah, I guess this is my loss, right? No, that's profit. So only percentage, I guess. Anyway, so I went from $900 all the way down to like 600, and I got it back to 900, 950, basically to break even. So that's that. I also passed my gold funded trader. So I got funded 50K. This is a step 2. This is how I got funded. So 60% win rate, which is actually pretty high. My win rate is pretty low. You can see on this one my win rate, right? On my FX books, it's I win 8 out of 20 trades, which represent 29% win rate, and I still made it. Obviously, I'm risking way too much on my small account, because you know I don't want to risk like $10, $20. I'll be there forever. So you win more, but you also can lose more. But I'll tell you one little hack, secret, and something really contradicting what online gurus tells you about trading is how they tell you to just, you know, wait for your stop loss to hit and etc. I'm gonna tell you something about that, and it's gonna change your trading view completely, and it might also make you profitable. So this is my Alpha Capital. This is, I believe this is a step 2. Yeah, this is step 2 evaluation I'm currently in. So you can see my win rate is only 40%, and I am pretty much break even, I think. Yeah. Oh no, sorry. This was a step 1. I'm sorry. This is step 1. I passed the step 1 with the Euro JPY, and if I look at the dashboard, this is a verification. Yes. So you can see the graph here. Load up. Come on. You can see it was basically 50K when I got it. Got a little bit of drawdown, then I got even more drawdown, me doing stupid shit, and then I got it back to break even by the end of the week. So we are break even, and I'm planning next week to pass it, but we'll see how that goes. So that's those 2 or 3 basically accounts I'm currently trading. I'm funded on Gold Funded Trader, and I'm step 2 verification on that. Now let's get into the strategy, because that's why you're obviously here. You want to learn how can you implement this. How come I have a 30% or 40% win rate and I still get to pass evaluations, and I can triple my account, or basically, I don't know, 10x my account in 2 weeks on my small account. So I'm gonna show you right here what's happening. By the way, I'm gonna show you here, actually, this was a trade which I just closed yesterday. Yesterday was Friday. So let me get onto it. You can see here, let me go on a weekly, that I don't really complicate trading. I'm gonna show you very complicated strategy, very complicated analysis, okay? So ignore everything you learned so far. Just have an open mind, follow it a bit, stop thinking about SMCs, ICTs, all of that stuff. It's great, it properly works. If it works for you, maybe you shouldn't watch this video and click away and, you know, following your ICT. But if you've been struggling and you feel just overwhelmed with informations and with so much noise about trading, then this might be for you. I draw a clear resistance or support. In this case is a resistance. Now, why did I draw this resistance right here? Very complicated. Let me turn on this aircon because I'm freezing here. It's very complicated. First of all, we have a few touch points serving as a resistance, where price come to that price point multiple times, indicating that it's going to properly happen again, because history repeats itself. Properly heard that in trading. So we came to this area, we bounce and served as resistance. We came back, bounce again. We came back, we tried multiple times to get through this resistance, but we didn't. Went to the maximum amount of the maximum area. We rejected again. We came back again. We came back again, rejected. Came back again, rejected. So what do you think is going to happen now in this area? I'm betting that it probably is going to reject again, and that is exactly what happened. Now I'm not aiming anymore. I used to wait for confirmation, and I used to aim for like minimum 1 to 2, you know, 1 to 3, bro. That's how you make money. And you know, if you do 1 to 1 and you have a 50% win rate or even less, how can you make money? Well, I'm about to show you. So if you go daily, you can see the resistance much more clear, where the price drop. No, actually weekly is much more clear. But what I did is basically this. I waited for the price to get to the resistance somewhere in the middle, not before, not behind, somewhere in the middle, and I just simply entered the trade. Now, here's the thing. I didn't place my stop loss. Like just above, because look what will happen. Like I would just get stopped out. Even when the trade was still correct, it was still going my way, but because I was place my stop loss just above the resistance, I will get stopped out. So I place it way above, not too far, not too close, just somewhere above, right? Now, when I placed it, now you have the beautiful thing at time. You can decide if you want to close this position if it's going against you, or you want to let it run, right? So if the position, you can see it went a little bit against me, and you know, I was like, you know what, if it's gonna do something like this and I'm gonna break a new highs, like high, I'll probably close the trade. I'll lose half of what I was risking, and I call it the day. And when the opportunity present itself again, I probably enter again. Now, I did not really wait for any confirmation. I did have a confirmation, like I had an engulfing candlestick, like right here. You can see I had a beautiful engulfing candlestick here, and this is the time actually when I entered. This is the Wednesday, 5th of August. Yeah, this is the time when I saw this rejection. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna enter the trade and see what it's gonna do. And you can see it went to 121. I actually closed a little bit earlier because I was doing massage and I didn't want to deal with that, and it was Friday, it was end of the week, so I was like, let me just close the trade and go by my way. Another trade was Euro CAD, which is basically the same trade, and then actually went into my 1-to-1, and I still believe it's gonna go much more lower next week. And because we have a, whatever you wanna call it, yeah, you wanna call it like a head and shoulders, you know, left shoulder, head, you can right shoulder, right, so you can come back here for retest and sell again. So, but I closed it for 1-to-1.17. So that was a trade. I was also US oil, and I closed it way too early, and I still believe this trade is gonna have much more potential to go higher. Probably we're gonna see something like this. If that's gonna happen, to dip into the daily support, and I'm gonna buy. But we'll see how the next week's gonna go. But you can see I'm not overcomplicated. Now, the most important thing I would say with setting a stop loss is really not to set your stop loss just below the resistance. Just set it way below, just in case. Because when you're trying to be right and the positions start going against you, you start doing all this mental crazy shit in your mind, and your mind just gonna go nuts trying to figure out if you're right or if you're wrong. So when you swing trade like this and you place a stop loss way far away, you have the time to decide. You can sleep on it, you can wake up, because Forex market doesn't go very fast, right? It's not like futures or crypto. Forex is designed, or not designed, it's the biggest market in the world. So the price moving much more slower. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Me trading for 2.5 years, seriously, and I had lots of good withdrawals, and I passed multiple profit challenges and all this stuff. This right here, when I stop overcomplicated trading, waiting for confirmation, all that stuff. Another thing with confirmation is, when you wait for confirmation, the move might already happen, right? So for example, I think there was which trade? It was AUD-JPY or something like that. AUD-JPY, right? I actually want to take this trade, and it worked out because I did something like this. I was like, you know what? When the price gets to the middle of the zone, I'm gonna have like stop loss like this, set to 1-to-1, and I'm probably gonna have to enter the trade. But I already been out of the trade, so I didn't. So you can see there's a clear support. I'm gonna tell you this whole thought process behind this. We had a support, we had a resistance here. We kind of served as a support, then we served as a support. So what I'm expecting is gonna serve as a support as well. Even that the price, yes, the price is just like falling knife, but it's coming to the daily, and I believe this is weekly as well, support. Yes, this is a weekly support as well. So that's what in my mind I'm gonna enter the trade, but I didn't. I was too much of a pussy because I was out of the trade. You know, whatever you wanna call me, I'm too much of a pussy. I didn't enter, whatever. But look at the, not precision, but look what happens. Price just tends to bounce from the daily and weekly so much more often than 1 hour, 15 minutes, 4 hours, all this stuff. If you just draw daily and weekly, support, resistance, wait for the price to get somewhere in the middle like this. Oh, well, that's not really, you can't really see that. Somewhere like this, right? Hiya, come on, somewhere like this. Not like this. You know, if you can wait for the price to come all the way to these extreme lows, great, you know. But for me, if it gets somewhere to the middle, you know, like somewhere around this area, I'm more than happy to enter the trade and go from there. And look, it worked out, you know, 1-to-1. What's gonna happen next week? Probably this price is gonna come back to this area again, and we might break through or just keep pumping up. So we'll see how that goes. But that is the most simplest, literally for idiots, for lazy people to trade. and you're gonna have a 50% losses and 50% winners. And if you can make more money on your winners than your losses, you, my friend, become profitable. That's all there is. Like, stop following all these gurus and they're telling you you have some fair value gap and you have to wait for distribution and distribution and what's the other thing they're saying? A liquidity sweep and all these fancy words. Just support and resistance on the daily and weekly and set it up, and that's it. Like that there's nothing else to it. So I hope this video open your mind a little bit and make your busy mind a little bit more calm, because trading, it should be simple. It's definitely not easy job. It's definitely not something you can learn in a few months. Any trading guru who tells you you can learn trading in a few months is lying to you straight to your eyes. It's gonna take you 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years before you start making really like serious money. I'm talking about 10 years, you make like 200k, 500k, 1 million a month, etc. But if you just want to make a living, if you have a job and you're making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, how that will be if you replace your full-time income with the trading. So if you still have a job and let's say you make 5k a month and you make 5k from trading, you pay all your bills, your rent, your food and everything, and then anything else after that is just free money, which you can reinvest into other businesses or maybe put it into stocks for long term or crypto, Bitcoin, whatever it might be. And you can really plan for your future. I wanted to always aim for like straight away like 100k a month, but now I'm just happy that I replaced my income and my profits from my business. And that's all it matters really with trading. It's so much more, I would not say easier, but it's so much more lighter to your mind when you just aim for a couple of $1,000s first, and obviously once you get better, obviously you can aim much more higher. But for me, when you stop overcomplicated trading and you just really draw super resistance on a weekly and daily, which the probability it will bounce from the areas are much more likely to happen on a daily and weekly. So that's it for me. Hit the like button, subscribe. You can also join the free Telegram group channel, which is the link down below in this video. I believe I posted in the comments, so you can click. You can see we have a whopping, I think, 600 members right now. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you next video. Goodbye.